Hey guys, this is the review for your two-step equations test that is two-step equation problems, but also two-step equation word problems. So we're going to do 5 word problems. I want you to make sure that you pause it. You try to write the equation before I do, and then you press play. If you don't, you're not really going to be practicing what you know. You're just going to be watching me do it, okay? So make sure you press pause now, read your question, try to make your equation, and then you can press play to see if you made the same equation as I did. So 411 students went on a field trip. 8 buses were filled and 11 students traveled in cars. How many students were in each bus? First, we do our cube method, right? So we circle our numbers. C means circle. So we have 411, 8, and 11. U means to underline the question. So we have circled our numbers, underline the question. How many students were in each bus? So the students in each bus is our variable. It's what we don't know. B means Suboxone math action words. So we know that each bus is telling us that the students are be times however many buses there are. And we know the total is 411. Okay? Also, and in this case, it's 8 buses and 11 students. So we know there's 11 students and there's 8 buses, and we're trying to figure out how many students are in each bus. So now we're going to draw our balance line and do our two-step equation. So we have to get rid of the number without the variable first. So we do subtract 11 to cancel on each side. To keep it balanced, when we subtract, we get 400. Bring down your 8b. That's 8 times b, so the opposite of multiply is to divide. We want to get rid of that 8. We divide by 8 to cancel. If we do it to one side, we have to do it to the other side, and b equals 50. So there are 50 students on each bus. Always make sure your question and your answer makes sense. Does it make sense that 50 students are on a bus? Yes, it does make sense. Now, if it was 500 on one bus, that wouldn't make any sense. So make sure that you're working out your problems and checking to see, does your answer make sense? All right, next one. Aaliyah had $28 to spend on 10 pencils. After buying them, she had 4. How much did each pencil cost? Make sure you press pause and try to write your equation. We're going to use our cube method. So we're going to circle the numbers, underline the question, box the math words, and evaluate, make our equation. So first we circle our numbers. We have 28, 10, and 4. The question is, how much did each pencil cost? And we're going to box our math action words. So she had $28 to spend on 10 pencils. After buying them, she had $4. How much did each pencil cost? So there's a couple ways you can do this. One way is you can say, okay, the total is $28. So if I add the $4 that I had left over plus the 10 pencils, I need to know how much each pencil was. You could write it that way. Or you can say, okay, well, I started with $28 and I want to subtract the 10 pencils or the 10, because I don't know how much each one costs, and what I have left over is 4. You're going to see that whichever one you did is actually going to work, because it does. Whether you start with all of this adds up to be 28, or when I start with 28, I end up with 4. Both of those will work. So draw our balance line, get rid of your 4. So we do minus 4 to cancel. 28 minus 4 gives you 24. On your equal sign and your 10p. So we'll divide by 10 to cancel that multiplying out. And yes, you actually do have to divide this. It's not a perfect even number. 10 goes into 24 2 times, which is 20. You subtract that, you have to add a decimal, 0. And 10 goes into 40 4 times. And it's talking about money. So each pencil was $2.40 because it's talking about money, and you don't have to have $2.4. If you work the other one out, you're going to get exactly the same thing. Next question. You bought a magazine for $3 and 4 pens. You spent a total of $11. How much should each oops, I think that should say pens. How much should each pen cost? So, let me fix that real quick. Go ahead and pause this and see if you can make your equation. So if you bought a magazine for $3 and you bought 4 pens, the total was $11. So we circled our numbers. How much did each pencil cost? We've underlined our question. And now we have to box our math words. So we bought a magazine for $3 and means to add, oops, time out. Sorry about that, guys. So the and means to add, and then you spent a total of $11. We know that's going to equal 11, and we're going to be adding in here. So how much did each pen cost? If you notice, each is used a lot, and it really is. So make sure you know that means to multiply whatever I'm missing, which I don't know how much each pen costs, but I know I bought 4 pens. So that's 4 pens plus the $3. Now you could do 3 plus 4p. That's fine too. Now we're going to work out the equation. So we're going to subtract 3 on this side, subtract 3 on the other side, keep it balanced. 11 minus 3 is 8. Bring down your 4p, and we're going to divide by 4 on each side. So each pen costs $2. All right, next one. A third of Maria's boxes were destroyed. She bought 5 more boxes. There are now only 13 boxes. How many did she start? So we have a third. A third means 1/3. So you got to keep that in mind. She bought 5 more, and there's now 13. So we know now we have a total of 13. She bought 5 more boxes. And of is one of those math action words. It means to multiply. A third of all of her boxes. So how many did she start with? That means that's going to be 1/3 times all the boxes. Now, this is one of the fraction problems, so we do need to make sure we know how to work these problems out. We're going to put our balance line. Get rid of the plus 5 by doing minus 5 on each side. And we will get 8. Then we bring down our 1/3 b. To get rid of 1/3, we have to multiply by the reciprocal, which means we multiply by the flipped fraction. When we do that, it will cross cancel and leave you with just b. Now if I multiply by 3 over 1 on one side, multiply by 3 over 1 on the other side, because it's got to be balanced. Every whole number is over 1, and you just multiply straight across. Get 24 divided by 1, which is just 24. So she started with 24 boxes, and now she only has 13. All right, we have one more question left. Smalley won 40 bouncy balls playing horseshoes at her school's game last night. At her school's game night. Later, she gave 2 to each of her friends. She only has 8 remaining. How many friends does she have? So there's 40, and then there's 2 to each of her friends. So we'll box that one, and there's 8 remaining. Okay? So if she started with 40, and she gave 2 to each friend, she has 8 left over. Or you could say, if you take the 2 for each friend plus the 8 she has left, it gives you the total of 40. Either one of those would work. So I'm going to have to subtract the 40 to cancel that out. Subtract 40 on the other side. I have a small number minus a big number, so I have to go to the side and actually do 40 minus 8. When you do that, you'll get 32. And that'll be a negative because I had 8 and I took 40 away from it. You bring down your negative 2f, because that's what it is, the minus 2f. You have to divide by negative 2 to cancel. Divide by negative 2 on the other side. And f will equal 16. So there were 16 friends there. So I hope that you got this, that you feel good about it. If you don't, go back and rewatch it. Go back and retry it. Remember, you have to own your learning. So I want to make sure you do well on your test tomorrow. Good luck.